Patriots, Christians, what's going on? Well, yesterday, as we now find out that a Parkinson's doctor has been to the White House 8 times. 8 times in the last 8 months, as reported by the New York Slimes. And if you saw that press conference yesterday with the French lesbian there, when Peter Doocy dared ask her a question, which was a serious national security question, she just stared at him and says, "Okay, we're done here." Closes her book and leaves. Doesn't Joe Biden. Now, you're just going to ask yourself, have these people checkmated themselves? I mean, listen, I know she gets paid to do a job, but I mean, it gets to the point where things get so bad, how can you answer any of these questions and protect the president at the same time? And the only thing to do is do what she did. Walk away, which makes it look bad. But is it better than giving a terrible answer? I don't know. Well, let's face it. As I did a search last night on dementia and Parkinson's, it doesn't really take a whole lot. There isn't a real test to determine Parkinson's other than they call the rest tremor test, and of course you take an MRI of your brain, same thing with dementia. But there's only one reason why a Parkinson's doctor would visit the White House 8 times in 8 months. And he was there to treat Joe Biden.
Real people.
Hi, I'm Joe Perillo with JoePerillo.com. We know.
I mean, you don't need 8 visits to determine whether the man has Parkinson's or not. This isn't 1920. So again, the other thing you got to ask yourself is, how did this information get out? Now you got to remember, a lot of these people that work in the Biden administration worked in the old Obama administration. Let me in, dude. There you go. So, as the infighting between the Biden team, the Obama team, I think the Hillary team is going to make their move. They've already been making moves. She's Botoxed up pretty good in her face. Gavin Newsom, Big Mike, Michelle Obama, and of course Kamala Harris, all vying to take Joe Biden's spot. So who's the mole within the Biden staff that's being loyal to Obama? Or moles? But ugly just got even uglier, and it's going to get even uglier. As Trump continues to climb the polls, including a lot of blue states like mine in New York and New Jersey, be prepared for a whole bunch of false flags. And again, you gotta ask yourself, when will they use the 25th and how do they use it? Now, technically, Kamala should be doing a job and should have invoked the 25th Amendment a long time ago. But she is looking long-term. I mean, that's just who she is. If she does it, it makes her look bad, even though, in her own party, even though this man is clearly have lost all his marbles. I mean, when you go to the governor's meeting last week, you say, "I'm good, except my brain doesn't work that well." I mean, this is what he said. "I promise I'll work more between the hours of 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. when I'm actually at my best." leader of the free world, the most powerful country, he only affected for about 4 hours. Now, granted, I'm exaggerating there, but you know where I'm coming from. And this is where Peter's Ducey's questions came in yesterday about what if you got to make an 11th hour decision right away, and you need him to make it because he's the only one powerful, well, the only one with the authority to do it. How does that work? And if you can't get him up or he's not coherent, who makes the call? An unelected official? The Secretary of Defense? The Secretary of State? You see what the problem here is? Kamala should have used her power a long time ago and gotten the cabinet together and gotten this man out. So she has failed to do her job many times over. And listen, I'm not advocating for Kamala Harris. I'm not. She's an idiot. But good Lord. With the problems we're having in the Mideast, the problems with Taiwan and China, of course the Russian-Ukraine thing, we had the Russians off the coast of South Florida not too long ago. Who's making the calls behind the scenes? Because it's nobody we elected, or the person they stole the election for. Let's go there. We'll go there. So, and as this goes on, Trump just sits in the background with his popcorn in his hand, saying, I wonder how this is going to play out. Because like I said, there's everything that Trump said was going to happen in the Biden administration has happened. And there's only two predictions left. One, the 25th Amendment, which he said. And two, him coming back to power as president. And you can bet, as they are fighting with each other right now, if Trump wins this, when Trump does win this election, what will they do to muddy the waters? Will they use the court system? Will they use these federal agencies which have gotten out of hand, which has been severely checked by the Supreme Court, saying, yeah, you can't do a lot of stuff you've been doing for all these years. You are not a law-making body, and you just can't make a policy in place of Congress to enforce whatever you want. And you gotta ask yourself, when does the military step in? Because it's gonna have to. Democrats have already said they're not going to certify the elections if Trump wins. So, we have ourselves one hell of a mess here, which we knew was coming. We just thought it was going to come about 3.5 years ago. But they did a Barry Sanders move, faked this out. He left office, and I won't forget the words Trump said a few hours before he left. We're going to be back in a different form. With 17 American flags flying behind him, and Melania wearing a dress identical to what Jackie O wore at the Kennedy funeral. Now I know who the mole is and who the moles are. And right now, as this happens, Kamala Harris has her own problems because nobody likes working for her or with her. People constantly quit her staff because she's an idiot. So, as she's fighting the infighting among the other people trying to kick her out, she's got her own problems with her own staff also. I've been telling you this is going to be biblical. And as we are now, just a few days away from the convention. Republican convention. Who's Trump's VP gonna be? South Dakota governor. Burgum, the North Dakota governor, is a good guy to have. I got no problem with Tim Scott. I have no problem with General Flynn either. Boy, that would piss them off. So it's going to have to be named soon. Unless he named it the convention, which I think, I don't know if I would push that far, but who knows. And meanwhile, as we find out that a lot of the Biden advisors have been pushed away, and what we hear that the two top advisors Joe has is his son, the felon, and Jill, the wife. So, I'm sure we have some disgruntled Biden advisor cabinet members who are being pushed away